that holy moment of oneness, where we know there is no separation between us and that which created us. We breathe into this moment, opening our hearts and our minds to that divine energy that moves through us, that breathes us, that expresses as us, like the leaf on the tree, the wave on the ocean. And into this space of oneness, we hold those who are near and dear to us, knowing that we are not separated by our experiences, our circumstances, time, space, or distance. And into this holy vibration, we offer the names of those who are on our hearts and minds this morning. And I invite you, wherever you are, whenever you are, to speak those names aloud. Now. Desiree and Grace, Sue and John, Robert H., Jan, Ryan, parents and siblings, the Bales family, the Rackley family, Patrick and the Wathen family, UFW Fall Festival, volunteers, vendors, participants, UFW AV team, the Esons, the Westfalls, Chase and Sadie, Kaya, Danilin, D.S., Archer, Bosco, spiritual leaders everywhere, Joni W., Conrad and family, Tom, Gail and Robert H., Lois W. and family, Jaden F., Kate D., Eric D., Barry B., Sandy B., Lil, Andy B., the Wallers, Natalie, the Mayos, Mary Lee, Diane and family, Darian and Haley, the Wood family, Marge, Ruth, the Bonars, Thelma, Lynn, Christina, Carl, the Great Lakes Unity Regional Board, our guiding governances, Unity Worldwide Ministries, Unity World Headquarters, our government leaders, the candidates on both sides. We pour our love, our peace, our harmony into this election process, knowing that ours is a sacred duty to hold the high watch. To use our voices to do what we are called to do. To use our citizenship to do what is ours to do, and always in our thoughts, in our prayers, in our consciousness, to hold the highest and greatest good for this nation that we call our home. We breathe in, knowing that there is nowhere where the power and the presence is not. may that light shine forward and guide us onward. And so it is, all women, all children. Amen. Take a deep breath in. It may be cold and chilly outside, but it's warm and beautiful in here. Amen. Yeah. I have to tell you, it does my heart good to know that we have the pool chairs out in the back. And that we're still being respectful and wearing our masks and keeping our distance, but that we are filling our sanctuary once again. It's so good that you're here. And those of you that are online know that we are holding you in this space wherever and whenever you are. I'm the Reverend Glenda Walden. I am the leader of this high vibration tribe. If you didn't notice, it's because you were sleeping. I'm telling you, you can't have your eyes open and not feel the love and the warmth and the energy that is contained when we are all together just like this. Right? Yes. What a fantastic time to be alive. This is my favorite phrase, so you guys are just going to have to get used to it. Like I'm thinking about having it tattooed somewhere. My God, what a fantastic time to be alive. So we always begin our service by lighting the Christ candle. In unity, we know from the principles we studied last week that God is everywhere present and that we are a spark of that divinity. We are that expression of that which created us, no matter what you call it, here on earth. And so we light our Christ candle to remind us of that light. There we go. And our affirmation is nature's beauty reflects my own true nature. So I want you to say that with me. Nature's beauty reflects my own true nature. And now I want you to think about the most beautiful thing you've seen this week. So I was out on my kayak. I know that's no surprise. I was out on my kayak and I saw the most beautiful hawk circle me as I was kayaking. So that's my duty today. So I want you to think about the most beautiful thing you've seen today. I want you to put your hand on your heart, and I want you to say that affirmation with that beauty in mind. Nature's beauty reflects my own true nature. And now I want you to lock eyes with somebody. Somebody you know, somebody you don't know. All right, and together, and this time we're going to say, reflects your beauty. Nature's beauty reflects your own true nature. Amen. That is absolutely, positively the truth today. Yeah. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with your whole heart. What a relief. There's a plan. I don't know about you, but I've had some doubts recently. That there was a plan. And the plan seems to be changing every day. And sometimes I wonder if I've turned the directions upside down. Right? There's a plan. there is a plan. Breathe that in. There is a plan, a divine plan. I happen to believe, as a faithful unitic, that plan is outlined in our 5 principles. That our 5 principles are like the directions on the map. They tell us what the plan is and how to follow it. And there are some really clear signs when we're not and when we are. So today, I invite you into this space of knowing no matter what's going on in your life, whether things are trucking right along like you want them to, or whether you hate to turn on the news, whether you're concerned about the election or you're concerned about your relationships, I want you to open your hearts up to the truth that there is a plan. And that plan is to prosper you. That plan is to give you hope, a future, a knowingness that there are better things to come. I have a plan for you. Our very first principle we learned last week is there is one power and one presence that is everywhere present. There's nowhere that it's not. Jeremiah tells us that when you open to this presence with your heart, you will find it. And so our first principle is about see, feel, hear God. That's the first part of the plan. That's the only reason we showed up and came here. We came here to experience more of what we are. So think about that. Part of that plan is for you to see that one power and that one presence. Whether it is in a sunset, the smile of a friend, to see that tangible, that presence is here. To feel God. I was thinking about my grandbabies. And you know, when I hold those kids, I hold the world. Like, there is no doubt that love is here and love is present. Feel that power and that presence. Hear it. We're going to talk about our third and fourth principle today. Hearing God. In the laughter of a child. In the comforting words of a friend. In that still, small voice. Jeremiah 29:11-13 assures us that when we seek God with our heart, our mind, and our soul, we will find it. We will find our connection, no matter how lost we are, no matter how dark it is. When we seek, we will find. Our second principle we learned last week is that we are an expression of that divine presence. We are the leaf on the tree. We are the wave of the ocean. So the second plan for us is that we understand, we learn, we experience that we're one. That we see, feel, hear God in our relationships to each other. There was a joke I heard once in seminary about this little boy who comes running into the sanctuary at the end of the service, And he goes up to one of the elders. And he's looking. And he's curious. Confused a little. And the elder finally says, "What are you looking at?" And the little guy goes, "Our teacher taught us today that we are the light of God. Yours is looking a little dim." I have that experience sometimes when people cut me off in traffic. Or people are upset about something. Because sometimes the light seems a little dim. But we are here to remember. Not only are we the light. Remember this chant that we sang? May you remember who you are. You are light, you are love, you are a spark of the divine. Part of the plan is for us to remember that in ourselves and that in everyone we meet. I have to tell you, I had this interesting experience on the way to church today. I was thinking about the lesson, what I was going to say to you this morning. And I just spontaneously started blessing all the houses. So as I drove down the street, I was like, I bless you, 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 I bless you. And by the time I got to church, I was so full. I was so full. I don't know those people, but I know they're a part of me. Just like each of you are a part of me. What world would we create if we could bless everything we meet? People, places, things, circumstances. We could just bless them as the light that they are. Wow, right? Wow. Jeremiah. I'm using new technology today. Jeremiah also says to us, when he talks about knowing the plans, my plans for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Our third principle tells us we create our experiences by the activity of our thinking. So it's not someone out there raining on your parade. It's not something out there that says, you've been a bad girl. I'm going to take that away from you. There isn't a judge up there somewhere. The only critic, the only judge, lives right here. Actually, right here. Right? That which created us means us no harm. I actually believe that that which created us is beyond that. Harm, good, bad, all this division that we've created. And so the only one responsible for your experiences is you. Now, this isn't like a new idea. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The Buddha, 2,500 years ago, said, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. If a man speaks or acts with an evil thought, pain follows him. If a man speaks or acts with pure thought, happiness follows him, like a shadow that never leaves him. In New Thought circles, it's called the law of mind action, the law of attraction. Many of us saw the movie The Secret, which now has a sequel that I'm kind of excited to see, right? All of that points to one thing. Our words, our thoughts have creative power. Think of that. You know, we established that we are like, we have the same essence as the power and presence. That power is a creative force. If you believe all the creation stories that exist in every spiritual belief system, that we came into being through creative energy. So if the one power and presence, if God is creative, then that means we're creative. We have the power to create. My friend and one of my mentors, Reverend Mary Morrissey, says that you have the choice. You are always creating. That's a choiceless choice. You're either creating by default or you're creating consciously. Either way, you're creating. Jeremiah is calling us to create consciously. That's the other plan. That's the third part of the plan the universe has for us. That we come to understand our own power, our own creation. Now, that may be terrifying to some of us, that we're creative. I mean, it's a lot of responsibility that we are creative. It's also magnificent. Think of it. It means that if you are not experiencing something you don't like, you can change your mind. It means if things are not going along the way that you want them to, you have the power to change the way you're seeing it. I think about, I was talking to someone about their teenager, and I was reflecting about my life as a mother of a teenager and all the drama that ensues when you have a teenager in the house. And I think about all those moments of complete devastation. You know, so-and-so's not my friend anymore. You know, what am I going to do? Or so-and-so's not my boyfriend anymore. It's the end of the world. And my own heart breaks. You know, the many loves of my life. And how all of that was in divine order. How it seemed terrible and a heartbreak and awful at the moment. And then it passed. And something better was waiting. Something better was waiting. Ellen Davenport, a Unity minister and vice president of Silent Unity, talks about our emotions as a tuning fork to our thoughts. So your emotions let you know whether or not you're tuning in to your highest, greatest good or whether you're not. Because emotions with thought magnifies energy. That's why sometimes our affirmations work and sometimes they don't. You know, if you are affirming, I'm prosperous, I'm prosperous, I'm prosperous, but inside you feel like you don't deserve the good that's coming to you, or you're jealous of somebody else's good because it doesn't look like you're good, then that affirmation falls dead in the water. Our thoughts are like the acorns on the tree, right? They are the seeds of our expression of the divine. The divine is the tree, we are the leaf, our thoughts become the acorn. And they will teach us what it is we have decided to grow as they sprout up. So the bad news is you can't blame God anymore. Sorry. The good news is that you get to co-create whatever you want, whenever you want it, with your thoughts and your feelings, with that creative energy that we're a part of. That power and that presence is the creative energy that lives within you. And it is their good, it is God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom of heaven. That power, that presence is always waiting to create with you. You get to decide. Jeremiah goes on to say, then you will call on me and come to pray to me, and I will listen to you. Unity's fourth principle tells us that the tools that we use to create, the tools that we use to tune in, is prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation are the tools that we use. It's the water, the fertilizer on the acorn. Prayer and meditation. We talked about a month ago that prayer is a conscious, intentional communion. You know, we get all mixed up about prayer. We think we have to say the right words in the right order, and we have to ask for the right things. And we put all these limits, all these constraints around prayer. I'm going to invite you to think about prayer as conscious communion. And what that means, conscious communion, a way of connecting with Source. So when I'm on my kayak and I'm singing like I'm in the shower, I'm praying. You know, when I get up, I came in this morning, the girls were singing and I danced. You know, it probably was not a pretty sight to anybody, right?
It was beautiful.
But it was prayer. I was so excited to be here. And I was just so full up from my blessing experience, and I was kind of dancing around. That's prayer. It doesn't have to be the right words at the right time. Anytime you become still, inside, still, and tune in, you are praying. And there's no wrong prayer. There's no wrong prayer. Whether it's a foxhole when, you know, the police are behind me and the little sirens are going, God, please, like I can't afford a ticket. Whether it's a foxhole prayer or a please, I need this, or it's a, my God, what a fantastic time to be alive. It's all good. It's all prayer. So quit shooting yourself, shaming yourself, thinking that you don't pray because you're always praying. Anytime you have a desire to connect with that which is greater than you, you're praying. We have a song we sing in Unity, my thoughts are prayers, and I'm always praying. And let's talk about meditation. So, you know, meditation also kind of has a wrap like prayer. We think we have to have the right clothes on, we have to have the right cushion, we have to have the right candle lit, we got to do the right thing with our hands. You got to say the right thing in the right tone. Meditation is another way to align us. Another way for us to be prosperous. another way for us to tune into that power and presence with all our heart, all our mind, all our body, all our soul. And meditation just means being still on the inside. So as I'm sure you can imagine, I'm not still very often. Though I do have a meditation practice. I do actually sit in meditation every morning for 20 to 30 minutes. I am generally not still. But I can quiet my inside. I can quiet my inside in an instant just by breathing. I can consciously stop, take a breath. And tune in to that which is breathing me. That is the power of meditation. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes, 2 hours. Some people can do that, and I praise them for that. Meditation is not about a length of time, a particular practice. Meditation is simply about quieting your mind just for a moment and becoming still and tuning in. Jeremiah assures us that when we stop, when we seek, that we will find. And see, that's the big plan. That we see, feel, hear God. Period. That's the big plan. The big plan is to see, feel, hear God. We hear God in different ways, but we have to stop the chatter in our heads usually. Right? Meditation helps us hear better. It helps us feel that divine urge, that impulse to go somewhere, to do something. For some of us, it's a still small voice. We hear a still small voice. For others, we just have an overwhelming feeling of connection. And we know we're on the right path. The last thing that I want to say is the plan is to see, feel, hear God everywhere, with everyone. To consciously create in that space of seeing, feeling, hearing God. What if we created, began to create our lives and the world through that holy space? I wonder if things would look different. And prayer and meditation are just tools in our toolbox to help us see, feel, hear God. Plans to prosper you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Plans to prosper you. So this is how we know when we are in alignment, when we are following the plan. So I was thinking about Jane and I this morning. One of our first trips that Jane and I took together was to an organic farm. And I am very confident I'm going to show my new girlfriend my map reading skills and how excellently I am at following directions. So I have the map. She graciously surrenders and lets me be in control. After we passed the same intersection 3 times in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, she said, "Honey, are you sure we're reading that map right?" And I handed her the map and I said, "Right here! Look, it says we're looking for road number 15. Oh, sweetheart. That's the miles between that exit and the next. There is no road 15.
applies to the lesson is if you want to know whether or not you're following the plan, take a look. If you're passing the same intersection over and over again, you're probably not following the plan. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. If you are not feeling prospered, if you feel like you're pushing the boulder up the hill, you're not following the plan. If you don't have hope, you're not following the plan. Because the plan is for you to be prospered. The plan is for you to be filled with hope. And getting back in a line is pretty easy. Do you know how we find out how to get back on plan? 3 things. See, feel, hear God. That easy. This morning, when you leave here, when you walk out into the parking lot, I invite you to surrender to the plan. I invite you to breathe in to knowing that no matter what is going on in your life, what is going on in the world, no matter what, that which created you has a plan for you. A plan that you don't have to do anything for. A plan that prospers you. A plan that gives you hope. And your only job is to see, feel, hear the divine. With infinite love and gratitude for the divine that you are, for the God that I see when I'm with you, for the God that I feel when I'm with you, for the God that I hear when you sing, when you pray, when you speak. All right. Take a deep breath in. Let's experience some of that God stuff right now. I invite you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Oh, take another deep breath in. To And you might not have even realized that that was what you felt. And so I invite you to reflect on when you felt joy, when you felt love, when you felt peace. When did you experience an inner strength? A sense of well-being. Breathe in to all those places where you felt the one power, the one presence. And now, reflect on when you have heard God. When have you had that divine urge to go somewhere and to do something? When have you received loving words, advice, kindness, and direction from a power and presence with skin on? And as Sue becomes silent, I invite you to listen. Simply listen. Not only with your ears, but with your intuition, your inner knowingness. Listen with your feelings, your thoughts. Listen. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Deep breath in. See, feel, hear. talked a lot today. Heavens. I got a little carried away. So I'm going to ask them to only sing one chorus of More Than Enough. Those plans that have prospered us by sharing our abundance with our spiritual home. So whether you give it online or you will give on your way out into the baskets, I'm going to ask you to put your hands on your heart or hold your offering in your hand and say the blessing on the screen above me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful. All right, so really quick announcements. Wednesday meditation at noon and 7. I will be here doing yoga nidra for anyone that wants to come in and be in community. We have lots of space to spread out and bring a yoga mat and come and enjoy yoga nidra with me Wednesday at 7. It will also be on YouTube Live, so if you want to be at home enjoying yoga nidra, you can do that as well. There is Wednesday noon Serenity Alive is here on site. Megan, we've been watching her video. I'm not going to make her pull that up because I did prep her ahead of time, but we've been watching Megan Brooks Smith, who is a dear friend of mine. I've served on the board with her. She has a beautiful story about unraveling grief after the murder of her son. And she will be sharing the Sunday message. And afterwards, there is an opportunity to participate in a workshop that she's giving by way of YouTube. So the workshop is at 12:30. Our service is happening at the normal time. I had announced it was at 11, but I was incorrect. That service is happening at 10:30, just like it always does. It'll be available on YouTube Live. It'll be available here in the sanctuary. And then Megan's workshop is at 12:30. If you want to sign up for that, you can let me know. If you do not have access to our the e-blast that comes out, it has a link on it where you can register, but I can also register you if you would like. Also, I'm so excited. On November 2nd is Dia los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead. And I came from a community in Missouri where this was a big deal. Like we had a bilingual service, and we had the skulls and horchata and beautiful food afterwards. So we are in partnership with Unity North Shore to present Los Muertos, and it's going to be an online event, and I invite you, it's at 7, to tune in. The registration, the way to sign up, and to post a picture of someone that you've lost, furry friends included, is unityaltar.com. unityaltar.com. It's going to be a beautiful service. Die small.
Question, is
Yes.
that the Sunday that the time changes? If so, we need to address that. I think it is. The first
Right.
Sunday in November.
November 1st? So November 1st, the time is changing. Thank you.
And that's on you to figure that out. We're still 10:30, whatever our time is.
10:30, whatever time it is. Luckily for us, Megan's on the same time as we are, so she'll be changing time just as she's up in Cincinnati, Ohio. I will remind her of the time change as well. Thank you, Di. Also, 31st is our festival. It's going to be 57 degrees. It's going to be sunshiny. It's going to be perfect weather. We have all kinds of really cool vendors coming to show their products. So come shop for Christmas. Have some yummy soup with us. Here's some wonderful music by our very own Michael Patterson. And have a great day. And if you want to be a part of that in some way, the committee is meeting immediately after this service. And so you can tap into stay after for the committee, or you can talk to any committee member, including Guy Small and Marcia and Amanda and Mary, and ask them how you can get involved and how you can help. All right, let's stand. Let's hold our hands out to one another, socially distanced, but energetically touching, as we say the prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds